Good morning, televiewers. Welcome to the story where the Prime Minister and Head of Government, Chief Dr. Joseph Diongute, has officially inaugurated the Bafoussam Regional Hospital Center in the West. The newly launched 13 billion franc CFA hospital is part of the 8 regional health establishments by the government aimed at bringing affordable health care to the population. Today's human interest story, a 31-year-old man has been arrested for allegedly raping his nieces in Douala, chief town of the littoral. The suspected pedophile was apprehended by some law enforcement officers for not only raping his nieces but killing them in the process. Now, the commander of the 5th Joint Military Region, Brigadier General Valer, has inaugurated a 4-classroom block renovated at Government School Ngwa in the northwest region of Cameroon. The renovated classroom falls in line with the civil-military cooperation. Details in this report with Fon Quintha.
After being abandoned for close to 10 years, causing a huge challenge to functioning of schools, pupils of Ngwa subdivision Dunga Mantun division of the Northwest region can now heave sighs of relief. This was after the commander of the 5th Joint Military Region, Brigadier General Valer, officially inaugurated a 4-classroom block at Government School Ngwa, a project which falls in line with the civil-military cooperation. The renovated block at Government School Ngwa has been described by the health teacher as a timely intervention, considering that the school had a serious influx of pupils from neighboring villages at the wake of the Anglophone crisis in 2016. According to the health teacher of the institution, the population rose to above 670 pupils, thus learning space became small. General Valer equally met with traditional rulers who expressed their frustration with the road network leading to the subdivision, as about 25,000 francs is spent on transportation from Bamenda to Ngwa.
To come to Ngwa here, I was supposed to cut through this way. I passed through 2 subdivisions before reaching Ngwa. So that is the most problem. The farm to market route, before our poor farmers to take food to the market is impossible.
The 3-day visit to Ngwa subdivision ended with a peace unity march between Ngwa and Sabongari, where over 1,000 people from both subdivisions came out to cheer the peace and unity football encounter.
The Bamenda 2 Council Mayor Chenwi Peter has donated rides to motorcycle riders within his jurisdiction, appreciating them for their maturity and services rendered to the population. The donation took place over the weekend, as Charles Kebwa tells us.
After Bamenda 2 Council Mayor Chenwi Peter promised bike riders for showing maturity / exemplary after the killing of young Tato Brandy by a policeman at the Nkwen Bamenda 3 neighborhood, where they expressed their grievances with no violence, Bamenda 2 Council Mayor Chenwi Peter, December 10, 2021, invited the bike riders in the Bamenda 2 municipality as they constitute a strong force in the economy, distributed rice to them for Christmas.
5 bikes, but they said no, this is Xmas period, not just celebrate Xmas. Together, I hear about 150 bags of rice to by January. I'm going to do a tombola that they will come, they register, they will show their driver license, their ID card, and then they will qualify, they will be eligible to play the tombola, which is 5 motorbike, and the cars going to put at these guys.
With Premium Finance Limited to sponsor a tombola for 5 bikes to be won next year in partnership with the Bamenda 2 Council, the Mayor, Chenwi Peter, while thanked the bike riders for the services they rendered to the people of his municipality, also called for collaboration and peace, given his council has recognized them, assuring the bike guys, those not legally married, to use the Bamenda 2 Council and their marriages be solemnized for free. Mayor Chenwi Peter promised the Bamenda 2 Council will establish identity cards and driver's licenses to some 100 bike riders in his municipality who belong to the Bike Riders Union.
Their bike have been seized by the police and the rest. So in the course of the verification, I realized they don't have documents. And they're not willing to do documents. So I want to come in. It's a peace-building process to assist these guys to have ID cards, to have a license so that they cannot have conflict with the police. You know, we want to lift the synergy, and the only way I can come into put in my own effort as the mayor in the municipality is to assist these guys to collaborate as a team so that they can have their documents and to avoid conflict with policemen.
In appreciation on behalf of the bikers, their union president shared emotions that the mayor has recognized them.
And if by a liberal or liberator they say, someone who looks ahead and not behind, someone who cares about the welfare of people, someone who welcomes new ideas without any reaction, someone who cares about the welfare of people, their health, school, housing, job, civil rights, and civil liberties. I'm proud to say that Mr. Chenyu Peter, the mayor of Bamati, is one of those.
The mayor to council assistance to the bike riders, it should be noted, comes after Bamenda 2 council support in education, health, and others, meeting with quarter heads, putting up platforms to communicate with them, enhance development within the municipality.
Let's stay in Bamenda, where the road to the DDR center, described by many as a nightmare, has been given a facelift. The rehabilitation works on the road were supervised by the coordinator of the center, Kum Henry Achu. Charles Kebwa once more reports from Bamenda.
The access road into the Bamenda Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration Center, DDR, in the northwest, has been given a new facelift, thanks to the director of the Northwest Development Authority, Midino, Cletus Anye Matoya, for assisting the Bamenda DDR Center with the machine that was used for the road rehabilitation works.
The work is already ongoing. I believe that I cannot give a time frame because it is my hierarchy that can give the time frame for the movement to the center. But what I can assure you is that what is keeping us here is the equipment of the center. And the national office is working on that.
The works carried out over the weekend in Bamenda, supervised by Kum Henry Echu, coordinator of DDR Northwest, he pointed out the road has been a nightmare and inaccessible, and he decided to work on the road so that the ex-fighters at the center and visitors could feel comfortable when making it into the center.
First thing is to make it accessible. Immediately after they do this, we are going to put laterite and tamper the road so that it should be long-lasting. You know that this center is not only going to be used now, it has to be used in the future. It was first of all a health center. And if it happens that we are to leave the place to go to our new center, we can still use this place as a collection point. So we have a long time to use these premises.
The rehabilitation works on the access road at a time many expect the center move to its newly constructed site at the Bamenda Airport area. The Northwest coordinator of DDR, Kum Henry Echu, said,
we also have the assistance of the director of Mideno, Comrade Matoya, who has also given us a lot of things at very reduced cost. He has made us not be able to hire the machines. He has given us the machines for free, and we have only fueled the machines and the lubricants and all of that, and taking care of the workers. So I think that he has contributed very enormously to the realization of this project, because he himself saw that it was necessary for this center to have a good access road.
The Northwest coordinator of DDR has fought appeal to the people of the Northwest region and Cameroon to understand the DDR is a peace-building mechanism government has put in place and needs all on board to be part of the DDR for peace.
Over 70 internally displaced persons residing in Kumba Southwest region of Cameroon have benefited from the benevolence of the non-profit Forminyong Foundation. The beneficiaries expressed more of their plight during the donation. Darling Gonde completes that story.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
It is the Christmas season, a time for reconciliation, also characterized with the sharing of gifts in love. That's why, as part of her objective, the non-profit Fomunyong Foundation, through its Relief and Hope project initiated by the founder, Dr. Fomunyong Christopher, has begun putting lasting smiles on the faces of the vulnerables, notably these internally displaced persons now residing in Kumba, affected by the ongoing Anglophone crisis in the northwest and southwest regions of the country.
This time around, we had two partners who were very instrumental in the success of our event. And we really want to say thanks to every one of them. Thanks.
The exercise, which is in its second phase in Kumba, has recorded a total of 70 internally displaced persons receiving items such as bags of rice, salt, seasoning cubes, washing soap, and lots more. And just like during the first edition, which registered a total of over 100 beneficiaries, these gifts are intended to support the beneficiaries for the time being.
This time around, the same thing we don't give them again out for another set of IDPs. And we really want to say thanks to Dr. Christopher Fomunyong and he partners them for this wonderful thing we don't do for the people for Kumba.
While receiving the items, the beneficiaries, overwhelmed with joy, have not failed in appreciating their donors and at the same time expressing some of the challenges they face on a daily basis.
Make a better me a job you want to get it. Them say they don't give me thing a job. They don't give me thing a job. They don't give me thing a job. My brother don't give me thing a job. All my don't do for this. Me I be alive to what time before I go there.
Help the family, continue for the help us with be less privileged for this crisis. We don't know how the crisis then they will end. They got to continue to help the man. So that it will help others and everybody, and I'm very happy.
The gifts, which have been donated with the aim of sustaining their various households throughout this festive period, is also serving as a reminder to stakeholders to act promptly in meeting the needs of the vulnerables.
Now on to culture. The association Maoris Bantu, dubbed Maraba, has called on all people of Bantu origin to regain their identity away from the Western culture. The call was made during a press conference over the weekend in Douala, as Joy Ngong tells us.
Bantu, Bantu, wake up. The time has come. This is the declaration that was made during the press conference centered on the regeneration and rehabilitation of the Bantu people. Marab's Bantu Association, dubbed Maraba, called on the Bantu race to be themselves, regenerate and renew lost natural abilities, as it is time to take back their identity from foreign races.
The first thing is to come back in ourselves. Let us get a name. When we have a name, we will not get those type of tribalism wars that we have, Baminda, the war in Baminda, Nozo. We will not have the war that's passing in the Northwest province. We will not have that division in between us. A Baminda man will feel that it's in Yaoundé, and a Yaoundé man will feel that it's already in Douala. But now everybody is afraid. What? The black man is afraid for what? A Bantu man is afraid for what? Because he don't have his identity.
Beginning with the return of foreign names, the Bantu were equally called upon to give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, thereby fully erasing slavery and other ills that have reduced the Bantu identity.
I cannot have an identity that is called Kum Francis K, because I will never dream to be in France. This is my hometown in Bantu land. I will never go to France to live in France. Why can you call me Francis? So I need to have my identity. I'm begging the government to give my identity. My name is Kum Kie, not Kum Francis K. My real identity is Kum Kie, not Kum Francis K.
The goal of Maraba is to reinforce a Bantu race where the people can freely express their full potentials.
It's not a question of traditional name, it's a question of identity. We have an identity. Francis is not identity. Are you okay with me that Francis is not identity? Francis is not identity. So give my identity so I will be happy to be in my land. And I am sure that a man without identity is a man that, one, he don't have a land. All what is from the land It's from France, it's not from Kum.
This is only phase 1 of the Maraba project. Maras Bantu hopes to work with the support of the government in order to reach out eventually to all 10 regions of the country.
Now in news out of the country, in Nigeria, at least 8 people have been killed and others wounded following an attack from gunmen at a local market in central Nigeria's Plateau State. The raid, which happened on Sunday evening in the village of Pinau in Wase area where people had gathered for the weekly market, is currently being investigated. According to Shafai Sambo, leader of the youth association in the area, 12 people were shot dead during the attack, including 9 in the market and 3 others elsewhere in the village. It is not yet clear who carried out the attack, but armed criminal gangs, locally referred to as bandits, have stepped up attacks in the country, carrying out killings and kidnappings for ransom. Note here that President Muhammadu Buhari's government is under increasing pressure to do more to end the violence, which is worsening by the day. Let's stay in Nigeria, where administrators at State University, Osun State University, have confirmed an incident where a final year student was attacked and set ablaze for refusing to join a secret society known as cults. Fortunately, the student was rescued and is being treated at hospital with serious burns. The administrators at Osun State University said that they were working with police to ensure the suspected cultists are brought to book. It is worth mentioning that violence around the cults has been the cause of a lot of concern in Nigerian universities and some schools. Sudanese security forces have fired tear gas to disperse protesters in the capital Khartoum demanding civilian rule. Reports say hundreds had gathered near the presidential palace for the latest in a series of weekly protests. Demonstrators are against the ousting of civilian members of government by the military in October. While in Ghana, the authorities say airlines which fly unvaccinated foreign nationals into the country will be fined $3,500 per passenger, adding that airlines also need to make sure that people fill in the required health declaration form. The new directive, which takes effect this Tuesday, has as objective to stop the spread of the Omicron variant of COVID-19. Note that the fine is aimed at strengthening the ban on foreign visitors who have not been vaccinated from gaining access into Ghana, which came into effect on Monday. However, Ghanaian citizens and residents abroad are excluded from the ban for a fortnight, but will be required to get jabbed upon landing the airport. The authorities say they are concerned about a surge of infections during the festive period.